Hi everybody, and welcome to day 3 of SLC's Lockdown Countdown. Every day in lockdown we're bringing you a conversation to give you some ideas and inspiration from some of our partners and friends across the industry. Absolutely delighted today to be welcoming Jen Snow from Freedom Destinations. Good morning, Jen.
Good morning to you, Jill. How exciting to be here.
Oh, well, thank you so much for taking the time. We really appreciate it. I'm going to go straight in with question number 1, which is, Can you tell us a little bit about how Freedom Destinations has had to adapt in 2020?
Oh my gosh, adapt, that is one word. I mean, we've adapted in so many ways, and the adaptation just continues week on week as the situation does change. But I think what it has done is it's allowed us to reflect and also adapt to what our strengths are, you know, really lock down on our USPs, what works for us, what doesn't, and actually home in on what we believe the market will need once it recovers.
What is that, do you think? What is the market going to need?
Oh my gosh, well, this is the big question. And this is what's been quite interesting, is looking at the consumer patterns during lockdown and the products that are being booked. And it is reassuring to know that traditional products like coach and rail and motorhomes are still being booked, and people don't seem to be put off by certain means of travel. So yeah, it's just making sure that we are at the best we can be for when the market and the floodgates open.
Yeah, absolutely. And if there was one single thing that would make the biggest difference to Freedom Destinations right now, obviously borders opening, but anything else that would make the biggest difference to you to get business moving again?
I think it's more, obviously we know the borders, especially for Australia and New Zealand, will be closed for some time, but I think it's more just having a time scale in mind, and that becomes more apparent the longer it goes on, and the more, you know, we're getting to that point where we're having to rebook people that have already rebooked from earlier in the year, and again we still have no timescale as to when to rebook them for, so we don't want to potentially rebook clients 4 times. So for us it's more just a timescale, which I know is impossible and no one has this magic crystal ball, but that would make a difference, and I think that would bring back consumer confidence if they had knowledge of when they could travel.
Yeah. And of course everybody's innovated and changed what they're doing, but what else has caught your eye? Doesn't have to be travel.
Oh my gosh, so much. I've been so impressed by how individuals, businesses, communities, every aspect of life has adapted and been innovative, and that goes down from so in the travel sector I was really impressed by Airbnb did an online experience for gifts almost, so you could have cooking classes with an Italian chef, or you could do wine tasting with you know, a French connoisseur, or have a history walk around Rome still on a virtual platform, which I think is incredible. From the industry perspective, I've been so impressed by how we're still able to have meetings and virtual platforms for larger conferences. That's been overwhelmingly impressive. I don't, however, ever want it to get to the point where we don't get to see our friends in person, because I think that's something that has really been missing, but it's so nice to know that you still can connect. And I think on a community level, just things like simple things like the clap, and as we come to Christmas now, sort of virtual markets, virtual Santa. I mean, there's just so much, isn't there? And I think it's amazing how humans can adapt in this situation and use the resources available to keep on going and keep smiling.
Yeah, that's it. It's never going to replace the face-to-face, but it's filling that gap at the moment for sure. Okay, so final question, Jen. Borders are all open. Where's going to be the first place you're going to jet off to?
Oh, well, I was thinking about this. I was looking at a map, and do you know what? I think lockdown has shown that we all look for comfort and the familiarity. And for me, during lockdown, the thought of not going to Australia again was something that was very, I don't know, heart-wrenching. And just seeing images of Australia again, it just made me want to go back. So it's probably the most predictable answer, but it would be Australia, I'm afraid.
Can you pinpoint that anymore? Which part of Australia?
No, the whole thing. I'd cover the whole thing if I could. But just also seeing friends out there. I think, you know, we feel so far away from industry colleagues, and just to be able to see familiar faces again, it's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm really going to look forward to the day where we can get back together face to face. It's been a pleasure having you on SLC's Lockdown Countdown. Thanks so much, Jen.
Thank you. Stay sane, my darling.
And you. Take care. Bye.
Yeah, bye.